Hello indie game fan, taking a quick break from the Steam Next Festival to round up the releases of September, beginning with BrightSeeker, a stylish top-down action game that is very under the radar. While it is a tad generic, I like the neon hues and the light trails from the action, which does look to be pretty hectic and might be worth a look. Going way back to August with the early access release of Breakthrough, a neat looking top-down action roguelite that is also going unnoticed, which might be because of the generic name or the theme and setting. The intense action with plenty of enemies and projectiles looks challenging, so if you're looking for a good roguelite, do give this a try. Dwarves are often used in city builder or colony sim titles for good reason, since by their very nature, their inclination towards mining, digging and mountains is the key determining factor, and such is the appeal of Beneath the Mountain. You're mining and expanding your base while having to fend off orc invasions, looking kind of like they are billions but without as many units on screen. This currently sits at mixed reviews and needs more polish, so let's see how this does in early access. This next title has been a long time coming since Melody's Escape 2 is the sequel to a game from 2016, and while that game was a side-scrolling 2D entry, this is from behind the back and in 3D with some slick-looking animations as you traverse through these otherworldly landscapes, looking to be a good rhythm game. Dry School is a small tower defense game where attempting to wet evil fish, being weird and interesting. A release that dropped a couple of days early is Criminal Dissidia, an anime roguelite deck builder in the vein of games like Slay the Spire, and while it doesn't reinvent the genre, this has some additional features that mixes things up. For example, there is an open world with branching paths that you can explore, as well as some light story elements and plot, although that is a little generic as well. Curiously, the roguelike structure is at odds with the open world design, since that leads to individual runs being rather extended, being counted in hours rather than minutes, but there are some interesting ideas here nonetheless. Releases coming up, such as Dark Light, a grimdark Metroidvania with Souls-like combat set in an apocalyptic world with a sci-fi slant. On paper, the most successful game of the lot is Foxhole, also releasing out of early access, where this is an MMO where you play as soldiers in a war, contributing to the war efforts in a variety of ways. Most interestingly, each war lasts for weeks and supports thousands of players, where every bullet, weapon and vehicle is produced and supplied by real players, where logistics and supply lines are critically important and adds an epic sense of skill to the entire game. With the 1.0 release, it has features like amphibious warfare, tanks, trains, trenches, and a variety of buildings to construct, being a very impressive piece of work.
Finally, after many a failed attempt, we managed to summon you. So now we at least have a chance. You are the chosen one. Only you can save this doomed world.
LOL, gets me every time. In truth, you're just one more puny human about to perish in my dungeon tunnels.
Another 1.0 release of interest is Despot's Game, a pixel art roguelite auto-battler that impressed even when it first launched in early access, and with it now being feature complete, it's a great time to pick this up. You're equipping your army with a variety of funky weapons, delving ever deeper into the dungeons to battle the monsters within, where you have no direct control over combat, but to see the simulation play out is very satisfying. If you beat the game, you're also able to battle the endgame armies of other players, with procedural generation of dungeons as well for replayability being an excellent entry in the genre. On the surface, this game looks nothing like a Souls-like title since it is very anime and you even play as a witch, but don't let the appearance of Little Witch Nobita fool you, with this being quite the challenge. While you primarily have ranged spells, there is a stamina system which affects how often you can attack and dodge, as well as a progression system that has you losing souls when you die, being quite the surprise and is worth a look if you love Souls-like games.